Spice yogurt chicken kebabs are absolutely delicious and really quick to make. The key is making a lovely little kind of like a marinade using some yogurt, which I'm going to show you now. So this is some of the natural yogurt from Cologne Farm in Wexford. So all the milk for the yogurt comes from their own cow. So this is a plain yogurt, there's no added sugar in it. We're going to put this into the bowl, and this is gorgeous for breakfast with some granola. Now you can crush in some garlic. If you like garlic, you can add in some ginger. What I'm going to do is a little bit of lime, and then we're going to put lots of lovely spices into it. So I'm going to use this grater here. I'm going to put some lime zest into the yogurt. I love lime. I think it's going to work really, really well with all these flavors. And then we're going to put the juice of half lime in here. So it's going to be lovely, tangy and tart. So with the little juicer here, so that's half a lime I'm going to put in. Well, these are lovely and juicy limes. Sometimes limes, they can be a little bit kind of like more juicier than others. So that just depends. Gorgeous. Okay. Before I stir that through, I'm going to show you these 3 different spices here. So first of all, we have turmeric. They're all organic. This is the harissa spice. Now this is actually nice and spicy, a bit of a kick to it. And then we have the mild curry powder. I'm sure you've seen me using the curry powder many, many times in a lot of my recipes. I really like it. So these are all organic. They're made from a company called Oko. So they're based in Athlone. So I'm putting 2 teaspoonfuls of the mild curry powder. Now it depends on how spicy you like it. You can put in chili, you can put in Cajun spice. This is the harissa. So I'm going to put in 1 heaped teaspoonful in there. You can always add more. If you add too much, it's kind of hard to take it out. And then we have our turmeric here. So be careful with the turmeric. It's one spice that can stain if you're wearing a white top or even on a board. It can stain, so be careful of that. So I'm putting in 2 teaspoonfuls of that. And then we're going to mix this all together. And that's our marinade done. I'm not putting salt into this. I made up this marinade yesterday, so I did. I have some already done. I want to get it onto the griddle pan to get it cooking. And then I'll talk to you about the chicken. So you mix it. So that's what it looks like there, Mella. You can use a little bit more turmeric. As you leave it longer, the turmeric kind of like will get a little bit more intense in colour, so it will. Okay, so these are our chicken kebabs. These are the corn-fed chicken, the Simply Better ones, which are just skinless. There's no bone, there's no skin. It's fed on maize. So literally all we do is just pour this all over like that. Okay, so we put that there. You can use your hands. You know what? Another cut that works really well with this is chicken thighs. Works really, really good with this. Now, if you can leave this, cover it in cling film into the fridge. This is what I did, and leave it overnight. This is what you're left with here. So these kebabs here have been, that's actually 2 chicken breasts. So it's roughly 1 chicken breast per 2 kebabs. So I need to get this on to get it cooking. A little bit of rapeseed oil. I like rapeseed oil because you get a nice high smoke temperature. Now I will season this up. So this is our marinated chicken, and the lime and the spices will give the most beautiful flavor. Now it'll skite a little bit, and that's just the lime juice in the yogurt. So I'll put 4 of these on. Tiny little touch of some salt, because I didn't put any salt, so remember that. And because they're cut small, they won't take long to cook. Now we have extra marinade there, so we can either spoon that over there. You can reuse that one more time. You could actually, put another batch into the fridge, but if not, say goodbye to it, or you could freeze it. So just be very careful because you've had raw meat in that. So just give this, let me see how this is going. Okay, so let that just cook with there, and you'll find that it'll kind of like get very, shall we say, it'll stick, so it will. So don't be worrying about that. We may even need to use the fish slice just to kind of loosen it a little bit, and it's the yogurt that makes it happen like that, so it does. So I've turned down the pan a little bit because I'm going to kind of bring up the temperature and down the temperature. I want it to kind of caramelize. I don't want it to burn, which will happen very, very easily. We're going to do a lovely salsa with this, and we're using mango. So mango is one of these ingredients that I really, really like. So if we just press it here, it's lovely and ripe and soft. I'm just using a big knife, and it's a flat stone just in the middle of the mango. Okay, so that's it there. You can never kind of tell where it is. So that's the flat stone there, and that will be enough for my salsa. Now, just before I start the salsa, I am just going to try and lift these up. So just with your chicken, using the fish slice, just kind of move them over. Actually, these are a great little dish for the barbecue, so they are. And then it just makes it a little bit easier for you to lift this. Turn them over. The smell of this is gorgeous. It's lovely. Nice. There, that's a really good one. So I'll put a little bit more oil, turn up the heat because I want to make sure that the chicken is cooking up nicely, and I need to season the other side. So remember, there was no salt in that marinade. It was natural yogurt. There's no sugar in that natural yogurt. It's a really, really fantastic, delicious product. And then what I will do, because I have a spoon here, I will just get this here. I'll just show you here, Mela. And then I'll literally just spoon this, kind of smear this over here. So we need to cook this marinade because the chicken still is raw and we had raw chicken in the marinade. Now, just let that. And you're kind of basting, I suppose. That's another word. So you're keeping it really nice and moist. Okay, before I do my mango, I'm using these lovely peppers. So these are grilled peppers. They're done in a char grill, so they are. This is them here. So lots of lovely flavour. And we're going to cut them into long little strips. And them into cubes. So this is a really nice salsa and works really well with prawns. You know, even with some grilled salmon. So if you want something light and summery, grill some chicken. You don't have to do this marinade. Just some regular chicken with this salsa is so delicious. So the yellow and the red I'm using. And then I'm going to work on my mango. Now, with the mango, keep the skin on. I'm going to use the big knife for this. And then just be really, really careful with this. Just take your time doing this here. And take your time, okay? So that's that. And then we'll just dice this into cubes. So this is the lovely kind of salsa. It should be really, really fresh, fragrant. And when you get mango that's lovely and ripe at room temperature, it really is delicious. Okay. Going to do the other half. Let's have a little look at the chicken. Using the tongs. Turn it over. Still raw in the center, so we need to cook that. And I have it up. I actually turned down the actual pan, so I did a little bit. Now I'm going to turn it up a little bit, so I'm going to keep adjusting the heat just to make sure that it's cooked just for the video. So you can cook it a little bit kind of like low and slow if you want to, but I like to kind of like cook it nice and fast. I think you're going to get a better kind of caramelization. You're going to cook right into the center of the chicken. So chicken thighs might take a little bit longer. If I was using chicken thighs, there would be no bone and no skin. Great cut, great value, full of flavour. So I'm using the skinless chicken breast for that. And that's 2 full chicken breasts that I have in the kebabs. Okay, so that's our salsa there. So that's the chopping done. Now let's use the other half of the lime. I'm just going to wipe my hands here because a little bit of oil there. So we're going to use the other half of the lime. I don't like to waste anything. This is going to go in here. I do love lime. And then with the juicer, we're going to put the rest of the lime in there. Into this, I'm going to use this oil. So I'll just show you here, Mel. So this is the pepper there, which is already roasted, and then you have that lovely oil. So it's full of flavour, so don't waste it. And it's extra virgin olive oil. I should have said that. Sweet chilli sauce. This is made by an Irish company called Full On Foods. It's optional if you want to. You don't have to put the sweet chilli sauce in, but it kind of works really well because you have a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of sourness in this. And then I'm going to put a little bit of basil. I'll just grab a spoon here. And I'll put some basil in the moment. Salt and black pepper. Now we're going to turn down the pan and we're going to turn around our chicken. So a little bit of pepper, so there's lots of colour. See that salsa, everyone? That will keep happily in your fridge. No problem at all. But if you can, serve it at room temperature for sure. Now, that's looking nice. A little bit more oil. This one here got the best colour, and that can just depend just on, because that must have been the hottest part of the actual pan. So you can do these in a regular pan. You don't have to grill them. On a barbecue is fine, under the grill, whatever way you want to. So these are lovely little plants of basil. I've used so much basil in so many of my recipes. You could use coriander, which would work really well. Don't forget to water them. Give them a little bit of water, okay? Every so often, not every day, but every so often. And this salsa is so delicious. Really is full of flavour. So we're just going to cut our basil. So I have the pan, just turn it up before I do this. Because the chicken is cubed, and try and cut them into even sized cubes, it shouldn't take too long. They won't be too far from being cooked. Now watch the fingers when you're doing this. I love fresh herbs. They add so much freshness. So the key is the marinade. So remember what I did. I mixed that lovely yogurt, Killoan yogurt. They're the nicest producers in Wexford, with those lovely spices. I didn't put garlic, but you could put garlic into it. We're going to flip this over here and just press the chicken. That actually feels, once it's firm to the touch, it's more or less cooked, and it doesn't take long to cook. It's a lean cut, so you want to get lovely flavour in there. So if you look at that marinated chicken there, try and leave that if you can, cover it in cling film in the fridge for a couple of hours. I had mine overnight in the fridge, which is perfect. So we'll start to serve this. Pita bread, just simply a little bit of oil, put on the griddle pan before the chicken, or you can fill the pita bread if you want to. We're going to spoon in our lovely salsa, and look at that lovely colour. That is gorgeous. So full of flavour, lovely and fresh. For me, it is absolutely delicious. So you have your mango, and you can do this with pineapple, I should have said. You can do this with sun-dried tomatoes. You can do this with cherry tomatoes. Not everyone likes peppers. I do think they're a great product to have. Now, let's turn this down. Chicken feels firm, so I'm just going to serve this up now. It's a nice bit of caramelization. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, do you know what? I think 3 is enough, and there's the winner. That one there is just beautiful. 2 to 3, whatever you want to. A lovely little bit of fresh salad on the side, and there you have a really, really very, very simple. These salad leaves are all growing just here. We have a little greenhouse just beside our house there. And how good does that look? It should be fresh. It should be succulent, and that's exactly what you want. This chicken here, you can see that it's nicely caramelized there, so it is just a little bit of nice brownness. How do we wash that? Soak that in some soapy water for a good 10 minutes and it'll just come off. So there are my spiced yogurt chicken kebabs with our mango and red pepper salsa. I hope you try this recipe. I'm using chicken breasts. You can use chicken thighs, and remember, any of the recipes that I'm doing, you'll find the actual recipe on the Maclean Facebook page. Happy cooking, everyone, and enjoy this recipe. Thanks a million.